With the evolution of the modern warfare methods, wars have started to have an impact not only on the front lines but also behind the front lines. And this is clearly evident in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. In particular, the Ukrainian army's artillery attacks are causing great damage to Russian positions behind the front line, and Ukraine's artillery is not only targeting the front line but also the rear lines of the Russian forces, causing massive destruction. In our previous reports, we mentioned that the main target of the counteroffensives launched by the Ukrainian armed forces are Berdyansk, Melitopol, and Mariupol, and these offensives are an important part of Ukraine's war strategy. In recent days, artillery units of the Ukrainian army have repeatedly launched fierce attacks on Melitopol, and these attacks aim to gain a significant strategic advantage in these regions. So, what are the latest developments on the subject? Let's take a look together. But before moving on to our report, I would like to make a small reminder. As the Pioneer team, we strive to bring you the latest developments in the Russia-Ukraine war. So do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. I also read all of your comments on our videos, so please continue to share your ideas about our content with us in the comments. And tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. Let's start, if you are ready, the Pioneer reports. Before we talk about the recent attacks in Melitopol, let's recall the strategic importance of this region. As we have noted in our previous map reports, Melitopol is located in the center of occupied southern Ukraine and serves as a vital link between the Crimean Peninsula and the occupied southern Ukraine. During the ongoing Ukrainian counterattacks, the Russian armed forces on the front line are in constant need of reinforcements, and most of these reinforcements originated from the mainland Russia and are stored in the ammunition depots located in the occupied southern Ukraine. They need to be delivered to the front line on a regular basis, and they are especially urgently needed by the personnel of the Russian armed forces stationed on the Zaporizhia front line. One of the Ukrainian army's counteroffensive strategies was to weaken the strength of the Russian troops on the front line by destroying Russian fortifications behind the front line. According to the recent reports, artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces targeted Russian positions in the city of Melitopol. Allegedly, 4 ammunition depots in the area were hit by HIMARS missiles and blown up. According to local sources, most of the Russian armed forces personnel stationed at these ammunition depots were injured, and there are even allegations that blood donation campaigns have begun to be organized for the Russian citizens within the borders of the Russian Federation for the wounded in Melitopol region. In recent days, there has been an intensification of offensive activities by the Ukrainian partisans groups in Tokmak, a region in occupied southern Ukraine very close to Melitopol. The latest reports from our local sources in the region indicate that the Ukrainian partisans are actively mobilizing in the Tokmak area and targeting occupied buildings. It is also reported that these partisan attacks are supported by the artillery units of the armed forces of Ukraine. It is reported that the artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces have been attacking the Tokmak region with HIMARS missiles in recent days, and as a result of these attacks, many explosions are reported to have occurred in the region. However, so far, there has been no statement from the Russian sources on this issue, and this silence leads to speculations about the seriousness of the events. In a video circulated on social media in recent days contains scandalous images of the Chechen soldiers. In the footage, a Chechen soldier shoots his own comrade with the RPG rocket launcher. Commenting on the video, military expert says that the majority of Chechen troops are prone to make such mistakes. Experts point out that such mistakes by Chechen soldiers could lead to a major defeat of the Russian armed forces. Emphasizing that Chechen troops are not as organized as the Russian armed forces, experts state that these soldiers tend to act independently from the Russian army. Most of the orders given by the Russian commanders on the front line are ignored by the Chechen soldiers. In addition, the Chechen soldiers resort to brutal methods of warfare, and their high likelihood of committing war crimes are also considered as a worrying situation. So recent reports are not limited to allegations that Chechen soldiers have begun to stop fighting for the Russian army. These allegations, which have been widely reported in the international press, show that Chechen soldiers have developed a great anger against the Chechen president Ramzan Kadyrov and the Russian president Vladimir Putin. The reason for this anger is quite clear. While Russian soldiers are angry with the leadership of the Russian Federation because of the many problems in the Russian army, the situation of Chechen troops is even worse than that the Russian troops are. Allegedly, the situation of Chechen troops is worse than the Russian troops, and Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has no mercy for the Russian troops and is even harsher on the Chechen troops. The reason for this is quite simple. Putin sees Chechen soldiers as pawns, and Chechen soldiers have started to react to this situation because they think that they are being thrown as a fodder in front of the Ukrainian army. According to recent allegations, some Chechen troops have joined the ranks of the Ukrainian army, and these allegations pose a serious threat to the Russian army. Chechen soldiers who have joined the Ukrainian army are said to be calling on other Chechen soldiers to remain in the Russian army to do the same. And if this happens, the defection of Chechen soldiers from the Russian army to Ukraine could lead to a major crisis for the Russian Federation. Chechen President Ramzan Kadyrov's insensitivity to this situation of Chechen soldiers and only looking out for Putin's interests is increasing the anger of the Chechen soldiers. Chechen soldiers who are as angry with Kadyrov as they are with Putin think that they are not being taken care of, and Ramzan Kadyrov, on the other hand, remains silent in the face of these allegations. The transfer of Chechen troops to the Ukrainian army is considered as an important development that could change the course of the war, and this situation, which could seriously affect Russia's war strategy and the morale of its army, could also be decisive in the future of the Putin and Kadyrov. And as the number of Chechen soldiers joining the ranks of the Ukrainian army increases, the Russian army could start to unravel, which could spell the beginning of the end for the Russian Federation. But right now, I want to know, what do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian army's operations in the Donetsk region in recent weeks have been successful? What impact these operations have on Russia's defense lines, and how might this change the course of the war? How likely is it that Chechen soldiers will desert the Russian army, and how does Ukraine's military support from the West affect its successes on the ground? And do you think this support can be enough to ensure Ukraine's victory over Russia in the long run? Let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.